a brand new YouTube video, and today I think we're gonna review some trades. So all in all, we have 3 trades that I wanna review. Well, we have 3 nights, 3 sessions that I wanna review. We have one night that went really bad. Like everything could have gone better. We have one night that was good, profitable, but it could have been better. And then I have a third session, which was perfect. Like, I don't think I could have gotten a better trade that night. So I thought it'd be cool to review maybe my psychology behind it, why I took the trade, what do I think I could have done better, and what do you think I could have done better? Because I've said in past videos, I'm not an expert at this. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm not trying to sell courses. I'm learning. I became obsessed with Forex, and I really just want to find a way to document the journey. I think in a year, this will be really fun to look back on. And for all we know, some of these videos might help someone who is still trying to get over that hump of actually starting Forex or actually start trading. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into the first trade, which was bad. All right, guys, so we're gonna go over the first trade that I wanna review. This was last week, March 24th, coming into the 25th on the London session. So right now this is about 12:30 in the morning. This red square right here for me is a 4-hour support or resistance, and the blue ones are kind of minor, maybe like half, like the 30-minute to 1 hour. So we have a strong support here. We came up, we had a fib retracement. This was London the prior day, and then we had New York session, and this is just Asian. So I'm not trading at 7 o'clock at night anyway, so I wouldn't have caught this push. I used the 30-minute timeline on this night to get my entry, so I'm gonna leave it on the 30-minute for this example. And right here is where my entry was. What we did was here, I was already looking for buys because we're above. As long as we're above this 4-hour support, I'm looking for buys. Now we created a minor resistance here, and then we broke through that resistance with this candle here. I entered immediately after that candle closed bullish, right? So my stops were somewhere below these wicks here, and then let's see what happens with this trade. Immediately stopped out. Son of a... So I think that was like, I half a pip maybe, I got stopped out, which really isn't a big deal. Even if I had my stops a little lower, I would have gotten stopped out anyways because we dropped. So that was the first trade that I wanted to review. Is there anything that I think I could have done better on that trade? Obviously, yes. First off, the biggest mistake is that I let that trade ruin my confidence even though London session hasn't even started yet. For one, I should have continued looking for buys and not let that one fake out really screw me up. For two, it was a fake out. So even if I lowered my stop loss, I wouldn't have been comfortable with that because I still would have, even if I dropped it 10, 20 pips, I probably still would have gotten stopped out anyways, and then it made my loss bigger. So it was a fake out. I'm happy I didn't move my stop loss and I at least had that discipline. The thing that I have an issue with is the fact that I let it ruin my confidence in what I was seeing in the market because my trade was still there. My analysis was correct. I shouldn't have let myself get so discouraged before London session even opened. And I think that's it. Like that's something that I could have done better. Now we're at the next day. Literally from that trade that I decided to just get out of the markets, we came up 130 pips. And I completely, granted I wouldn't have held the trade this long, I wouldn't hold through Asian session, but we jumped up 130 pips and I gave up on all of it because I lost 16 pips and I just wasn't happy with myself. We're gonna look at this trade right here, and now this was not the best trade, but it was a winning trade. I'm not gonna give it off yet, which I kind of just did. So I start watching, and this happens, look, this happened to me last night. Pre-London opened, right before London, we had a retracement after Asian session, right? So I learned real quick to just start waiting for that. Like we ended up breaking up here. I know that we had a 4-hour resistance here. This is a 4-hour resistance from the left. We hit it a bunch of times on the 4-hour, we rejected it. I think if we go to the 1 hour, let's try the 4. Yeah, look at all these rejections on the 4-hour. So we rejected like 4, 5, 6 times here. We have a support formed here. This is all in the 4-hour. So this is a strong point right here. So paying attention to that, I already had a feeling, even when I looked at this around midnight, that we were gonna come up to this and then retrace down. So I'm waiting for a fib retracement at this point. I set up the fib and we end up watching for London session. 3 o'clock, that happens, which is perfect. Exactly where I wanted it to go. And then once again, I think I entered on the 5-minute timeline here, so we're gonna go down to the 5. We had a bullish candle there, and then we rejected, did I enter there? No. So here's what I did. On the 15-minute timeline, we formed that candle. So I'm kind of giving it away by showing you what happened on the trade, but that big ass candle came. I entered on the 5-minute timeline, and the way that I managed to enter on that wick is the exact same way that I've showed you on the last trade. We ended up pushing up. We came up here. We still didn't pass the 8 SMA. We rejected it, formed a little bit of resistance with this bearish candle. Sorry, I'm not going over it because the risk reward thing keeps covering it. But we formed a little resistance right there, and then we ended up breaking through with that bullish candle. So as soon as we started to break through it, we already had bullish momentum coming off of the fib. So I'm already ready for buys. As soon as this candle broke through that resistance and started breaking through the 8 SMA, I entered my trade, put stop losses down here at this support, and I let it ride. The reason this trade didn't go exactly how I wanted it to go is that candle right there. So you can see, I'm gonna delete this now. You can see here we rejected the hell out of this 4-hour resistance right here. So I ended up closing my trade somewhere around 32 pips. I got in around here. I closed somewhere up here because we came up here. I'm surprised we even broke through, but we kept having trouble. We kept coming up here, coming down, coming here. I ended up closing it out. I didn't want to risk a reversal right here, but I was like, cool, I caught 32 pips. I'm happy about that. And then if I had only just hung on, son of a bitch. What did we do? I caught 32 pips on another 130 pip move. So, whatever, man. Bella, you want some snackies? Oh man, I gotta get some better lenses. These are annoying. Oh, yep, bitch. Sorry girls, there goes one of your eggs. That's gonna get so sticky if I don't clean it right away. Is there anything that I think that I could have done better on that trade? Yes, the trade worked out well. It worked out good. I think I closed out at like 32 pips. Happy with that, happy. I think it's really important to understand what your goal is with trading, right? That particular trade, I was trading with my FTMO account. For those who aren't familiar with FTMO, I know I did a video on it like 2 months ago. I'm sorry, consistency kind of fell off. I had to take like a social media hiatus, but FTMO, my goal is to secure profits. So I would rather secure my profits when I see a rejection like that than risk a reversal, because I don't want to wait on the charts for 3, 4, 5 hours and break even. Like, I'm not happy with that. If this was a regular account with my broker, which I do trade with, I'll take partial profits, I'll put stops at break even, and then I'll set a take pay. You know, I'm happy with that. If that breaks even, there's not as much of an immediate need because you don't have time limits, you know, on your personal account. But with FTMO, you have time limits. You have to get a certain amount of profit within a certain amount of time. And depending on what lot size you're using, it takes a little while to grow the account. I've seen people pass FTMO, a $200,000 account, which is new. I think I should do the $200,000 challenge and document it. You know, maybe with the next challenge, I'll take the 200K and document that. What do you think, Prezzo? Should we do that? What do you think? I've seen some people take FTMO challenges and pass the 200K account in like 2 days because they're taking 30 lot trades. And to me, that's crazy. To me, that's pure luck. Like, man, I don't want to risk a 30 lot trade on FTMO. I don't want that drawdown. I don't want to fail the test. Come on. You know, maybe with the next challenge, we'll take the 200K. Come on. What are you scared of? Come here. It's just an egg. You eat eggs all the time. You want me to walk away from the bowl? Okay. I don't know if that was caught on camera, but we had a little bit of an accident. Not only do I hate wasting eggs, they're so fucking sticky. Some of it even got on, I don't know how some got on the mic. Give me a second. We're gonna go over that third trade now. All right, this brings us to the last trade that I want to go over. This was a better trade that we ended up holding a little longer on. I say this a lot, man. I hate trading the Asian session. every time, like when you're looking at Asians, when you're looking at trading the London session, but you're looking at it a little early, say 11, 12 o'clock, even though London opens, at least for me, Eastern time, I'm in Miami, so London opens 3 a.m. for me. You're looking at these candles right here, there's a good chance you're gonna wanna get in, even though we didn't really break past the 8 SMA, at least in a strong way here. There's a lot of people who would enter right here. And man, just wait, because this Asian session is gonna, look at that. It'll screw you up every single time. So I learned patience. I learned to stop looking at the charts too early. Even around between 1 and 2 o'clock, it gets a little risky. I wait for something like this to happen. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes you get lucky, moves start happening around 1 o'clock, but man, just be cautious because, like I said, I got faked out in the last one. I deleted the fibs, but we got it right here. No, that's 7. We got the retracement right here. We get the retracement here. I'm kind of just all over the place right now. But my point is, pre-London, Asian session to the pre-London, I keep seeing like a 20 to sometimes 40 pip drop retracement, even though we're looking for buys. So here we are, we're looking for buys. I need a bullish confirmation, and I know that we have a 4-hour support here. So I'm either looking to see a 0.5, which we've already broken through, a 0.68 retracement, a 0.618 retracement, or a 764. 764 is my last call. If it breaks past that, I'm potentially looking for sells. So what happens, we'll stay on the 50-minute timeline. We got a bullish candle. I don't remember, we're still super early right now, right? So it's 1:15. We're really far away from the 8 SMAs, and I was kind of still looking for something to come down here. So I didn't enter this trade yet. We ended up doing it a bullish. We rejected the 8 SMA there, and I entered somewhere soon. So this happened. Let's go down to the 5-minute timeline, because once again, I'm pretty sure that's where I entered. We had a bearish, bullish. Where was my entry? So my entry on this one was after we had broken through, and then this candle. I was hoping to see something like this again, where we would create the resistance and then break through. We didn't really do that. So this candle came up. We started to create a little bit of a resistance on the next bullish candle, but it ended up coming up and creating a bullish pin bar. So I got in there. My entry came up at the top of the wick, and that's where I was. My stops were somewhere below this candle here. This one, I had a little bit more courage to hang on to, and man, I'm happy I did. The only real issue that I ran, not issue, but the only second guessing, I don't even want to call it second guessing. The only bearish candle that we had was this right here. So when we ended up rejecting off of the 50 SMA, was it on the 30-minute? No. So we're good on the, actually right here. Yeah, we rejected the 30-minute here, but the next candle, we were still super bullish. The next candle blasted through it. So I'm happy I hung on to it, and I ended up getting out there. So I didn't get the top of this, even though I can get rid of this now. I ended up getting out. I got in around, what did I say, around here. I got up like halfway on this because we were just playing around in this area. I knew we had a resistance here, but I didn't know if we would break through. Because remember, my last one I got out super early, and I was mad at myself for it. So this one I kind of held on a little longer. I probably lost like, I don't know, 6 or 7 pips because I ended up hanging on to it. I could have just put my stops right here at 151,700, called it a day, because it would have hit my take profit and I would have been out. But I saw the rejection. We came up, we came up, we came down. We came down to this and then came up a little more, and I closed it out somewhere around here. So I think I got like 92 pips total. And that was an awesome trade. Super happy with that one. So we went from stupid, like messing up my psychology pretty bad, which I shouldn't have let happen. And then we had a trade that I closed out too early. I had good reason for it. And then we had this one that I hung on to, which super happy this one played out the way that it did. Okay, and that brings me to the last trade, right? So how could I have made that last trade better? Honestly, I think that trade went great. You know, the only thing that I probably could have done a little better on is I set my take pay at 151.700. Instead, I was watching it, I was managing it. So I could have just put a take pay there and it would have cut me off. That would have saved me maybe like, I don't know, the 6 to 8 pips that I lost out on when I saw the rejection and I had a feeling the reversal was coming. I'm not gonna beat myself up over that. I don't know, man, it's a game. Like I said, I don't think there's much more else I could have done to make that one too much better. I know some of you might be wondering, why the hell is this guy just randomly leaning on someone's cop car? I do still work full-time in law enforcement. This is my car. Oh my God, look at all the crazy lights. Look what he can do. It's a light show, isn't that crazy? Yes, so still working in law enforcement. If you look at my past videos, I can tell you, you're never gonna see another how to be a fit cop video. It's not gonna happen. Like I said, I've gotten introduced to Forex a couple months ago. I've fallen in love with it. That's what it's gonna be. Will we talk about this once in a while? Maybe. I mean, it's a part of my life. Will the camera come with me into the gym once in a while? Potentially. This is part of my life. I work out every day. I go to work in this car every week, not every day, but every week I'm in this, and I'm trading every day. I hit all the wrong buttons.